Internal tables in work area. Internal tables are the temporary table which gets created on the application server at the program runtime. An internal table can store any number of records which we can select either from the database, or we can add the records through the program logic at runtime. Generally, all our data that sits in the database tables. But when we are making any reports and we want to display data to the user on the laptop, so first the data is selected from database into the application server. So as in the database, the data is stored in the tables. Similarly, for holding the data and perform some logical operations, we require some objects in the application server. So hold the data in the application server, we make use of these internal tables. And then finally, after performing our logical operations or adding deleting of data, we display to the user on our screen. A work area is used to access the record of an internal table. Like in an internal table, we may have multiple records row wise, and if you want to read only single value, or if you want to make a loop, we make use of this work area. This is nothing but structures that we use for perform different logic operations. We can declare the internal table with different methods, but one of the common method is like, first we have to do a type declaration, like begin of a type, and we can add the multiple fields, and for every field we have to give type reference either with the predefined type or data element or a table field name. Then reference to type structure, we have to define a data. Till we are not adding this data, the object will not get created. This type means this we can say only a blueprint of the structure, that is field 1, field 2. Let's say if you want to construct a building, first we make a drawing which gives the idea the how that building will look like. The types is similar to that. It will give only the idea like how many fields will be there, what type of data will be there. And finally we have to declare the work area or the internal table with this data addition. So we'll see how to declare an internal table. SC38, let's say internal tables, click on create. Internal tables, execute, save, local objects. Here first I will declare type. As in my overview section of data dictionary, we have created one table of employee master, that is ZAMP_master. We can also make use of this table structures and data element. Okay, let's say I want to add employee ID, title, first name, last name from this. So to copy the field, just press Ctrl+Y. After pressing Ctrl+Y, move the cursor here and Ctrl+C. Press Ctrl+C. Let me add a department also. Ctrl+Y and copy all the fields. Ctrl+C. Here first I will declare type, that is type begin of TP_ITab, and here always add first end of TP_ITab. We can give any name here, and inside this begin and end we have to add our fields. Let's say first I'm adding an employee ID, and we have to give type for all the fields. So this is my data element. Either we can give like data element, or we can use a predefined type like C, number, integer, etc. This is a type declaration. Let me add this for all. Last name, date of joining. So this is your defining the structure only. Okay, so we can define the components of the type structure like this. We can, instead of this, we can also write directly the predefined type. Instead of title, let's say I want to as a type C, we can also do in this way, comment this and give the length here. Let's say my title is of character 8. We can also define like this. And the third method is we can use the table reference. Let's say this is my table and I have this field is a department. Here my table field name is department and the data element is ZEMP_department. So instead of data element, I can also write like this: the table name hyphen give the field name. At the end, what system will do? System will assign the properties of data element which is assigned to this table field. Okay, and then it is going to assign the same data element ZEMP_department. So we can declare a structure in three ways, either with data element or with predefined type, let's say C, date, etc. Or we can use this concept, the table name and hyphen the department name. So this we have constructed internal table. This we have constructed structure only. Now data. First I want to create a work area. A work area means that can hold a single record at a time. GS, that is global structure, underscore, let's say I type, and this will be of my type TP underscore I type. And to declare internal table, GT underscore I type. Use proper naming convention so it is easy to understand. S is structure and T is for table, and followed by our internal table name. It is type, right, standard table of TP underscore I type. So in this way, first we have created a structure, how our internal table will look like. Then we have created a work area, and then we have created an internal table. This is one of the method of declaring an internal table using this type. The second method is we can directly refer to database table. If I want to create an internal table of the same type, so what we can do simply, let's say GS underscore I type 1, type this, and GT underscore I type 1, type standard table of the table name. This is also correct, but most of the time the actual database table has lot of fields. Let's take an example of table called MARA, that is Mara, which is used for the material master. If you go to SE12, enter table name Mara, so you can see in this table there are total 291 fields are there. But while doing the program, we never require 291 fields. We require some of the fields. Let's say the MATNAR, which is the material ID. We might be required the material type. We require the material group. Means hardly 8 to 10 fields we might be required for the reports. So if we declare an internal table by referring to the database table, that will allocate the memory for the entire field of that table. So it is always better to first create a structure with the limited field which we require for our program and design a table of that type. So this is about the internal table. So this is about the creation of internal table. In the next we will see about all the operations which we can perform in an internal table. That we'll see in the next session.